exam is about beer judging, this can be considered the most important class of the course. The tasting part will count for 30% of your exam score. The skills that you learn from this will be what goes on long after the exam is history. This is also the part of the exam that you cannot cram for. You have to judge. With practice and proper follow-up, you will show improvement. Saying things like, this is a party beer, or this beer is bad, or there's something wrong with this beer, generic descriptions like that aren't going to cut it for things like filling out score sheets, which is what we're going to be doing. Okay, those generic phrases can't be used when describing. Okay, your senses must be used to clearly communicate a description that is specific, mentioning strong and weak points in a given beer. This beer has a contamination issue problem based on the medicinal flavor. This is what I expect for an American IPA due to the fresh citrusy hop character. Those are more along the lines of specific phrases when describing or summing up beers. Many factors are involved in being a good evaluator, including training, experience, and an understanding of the brewing process. All your senses are used in judging a beer. An understanding of the flavors and their sources is critical. A good score sheet is a clear description and not a set of random notes. Describe levels using words like low or light, medium, medium high like medium high carbonation, or medium full body, or of course full. I don't want to see phrases like good body, nice carbonation. It does come up, but those need to be quantified. The procedures I'm going to go over for the BJCP score sheet, taken for the most part from an article in Zymergy from Gordon Strong, which you'll also find on the BJCP website. I think he calls it Here Comes the Judge, and you can also find that if you needed to for more notes. Okay, so got a dry erase board we'll use for filling out a score sheet, and we have a classic commercial beer. And today's beer is going to be something that somebody watching the film will be able to find as well too. A classic beer called Paulaner Salvatore. So understanding, of course, the Doppelbock category will be very important before we get too far into this. Okay. So with beer clean cups, properly, beer should be judged somewhere around 45 degrees. And we do understand what happens when a beer is too cold, right? That would be...
Can't smell the aromas?
Yeah, lots of aromas and even some flavor in the body.
It makes it a lot harder to perceive a lot of the flavors due to being too cold. Certainly it's a little bit style dependent, but if a beer is too cold, certainly you'd want to work with a steward during a competition to ensure proper temperature. Same if it's too warm too. So with Doppelbock in mind, if you do have that in your style guidelines, you can flip to that. And naturally everybody read the styles for today, right? And of course the materials from the study guide. There's a section on judging beer, as well as the judge procedures manual and cover sheet. So okay, before the beer is poured, look at the bottle. Is the fill level too high or too low? 1.5 inches is fine. Is there a ring in the top that indicates possible contamination? Is it bottle conditioned? Look at the bottom of the bottle. Is there a yeast sediment? You can note your observations under bottle impression. As this is commercial, we would expect no problems from this. Actually, since this would be a very good one.
Bottle impression.
2, 3, 4.
Full bottle inspection.
So,
Okay. Immediately sniff the beer. Naturally, when you open up the bottle too, that can give you a little bit of a first impression as well. A low hiss or no hiss at all can make a poor impression. And it's something that you can put under the bottle inspection. When pouring the beer, I was careful to pour down the center, adjusting the carbonation, adjusting to make sure the carbonation to make a good presentation. Being careful not to raise bottle conditioned bottle in order to keep the appearance consistent from one sample to another. Some judges prefer a cloudy wheat beer. Okay with them if you want to roll the bottle gently before decanting, so you have a little bit of a cloudy appearance. But so far what I've covered is not going to apply to the exam due to a different score sheet being used. Obviously I will be opening the bottles to bring them to you. Okay, got a few sniffs in there. First thing you want to do is write down your first impression of the beer. I'm going to do that on the board here. What's the first thing that you smell? What is the overwhelming aroma characteristic? Maltiness is dominant, correct? All right. Now consider also answering the questions, what kind of and how much of, okay? Because that is what's going to describe the beer more fully. So instead of just saying malty, which is almost a generic description, we need to expand beyond that a little bit too. What kind of maltiness? Or if you want to go ahead and say how much. I mean, is it just lightly malty? Is it robustly malty?
It's robust.
Yeah, it's you can say robust or moderately high. This is aggressively malty, isn't it? Okay. Okay. So I got a robust maltiness. Well, we've answered how much, haven't we? What kind of? Is this caramely? Is it chocolatey? Is it roasty? Something that was mentioned before the class too, some good aroma descriptors or malt descriptors, and I think one of them is going to apply something that you brought up earlier. What kind of?
Yes, me?
Anybody? Toasty is it. Great. That's what I want to hear. Toasty.
Toasty malt or toasty aroma?
A toasty malt aroma. Okay. Anything else to add to that?
Caramel.
Is there some caramel in this too?
Yeah.
Okay. Is one of these more dominant? Is it more toasty than caramely?
Yeah.
We'd hope so, okay. That helps to define the style. Toastly.
I'm still having trouble with that toasty part. I'm not getting it.
Here's another way of looking at it too, especially for the style of Doppelbock. It should be rich. And something you mentioned earlier too about melanoidins. Melanoidins is going to be that rich, toasty character. Maybe as this warms up too, your impressions will change a little more, maybe be a little more obvious. Or just a little bit different too. Toasty most. Okay.
David, is it possible you just, that certain people pick up different, because I smell more caramel than
Yeah.
Okay.
those somewhere.
Okay. And there just might possibly be some caramel malt character because of caramel malts. Okay. For the sake of those at home too, this was produced on April of '08, and today is September. May, June, July, August, September. It's a 5-month-old sample, and I trust that you bought this at a place that handles their beer very well. Stan? Okay. Well, as long as you bought it cold, that helps. Probably bought it room temperature off the shelf. Okay. Yeah, caveat emptor.
Shady side of the room.
The shady side of the room is good. Okay. As this is a 7.9% alcohol beer, that helps with some preservative character too. It'll hold up okay. Okay.
You get some alcohol in the aroma too.
Great. Excellent. Some might say a little more caramel than toasty, and that's fine. Okay. Maybe the consensus I wish I should be writing down. Would most say that it's more toasty or more caramel? There's a vote for toasty. Raise your hands.
Toasty.
1, 2 toasties. Toasty, 3 toasties and 2 caramels. And the caramel